Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how you can integrate Firebase authentication into your Flutter mobile application. I'm going to take you through the following steps. First of all, we'll create a basic Flutter application in Android Studio. Then we will create a Firebase project in the Google Firebase console. The next step would be to create an Android application support on Google Firebase console. And towards the end, we'll explore the basic code from the official documentation for signing up a new user and for signing in the user. Here are a few of the links we will be using. So let's get started with creating the project on Android Studio. Now you guys can see that the basic project has been created. What we'll do next is we'll try to run it on the Android phone and see if it works. It looks like the application just got installed. Right, so now this basic application is up and running on my mobile. Now let's proceed with the next step of creating a Firebase project on the Google console. So now you can see that the Firebase project has been created. The next step would be to quickly add an Android application into your Firebase project. So let's do that. For adding your Android project into your Firebase project, you need to know the package name of your Android application. You can get the package name of your Android application from the build.gradle file in your app folder. So you can open this build.gradle file and search for the package name. So it is com.fbinf.firebase in Flutter. Let's copy this. We'll paste the package name here and register the application. Now we will download the Google services.json file. Cut this file from here and paste it inside the app folder of your Android application. Alright, next to this we have to add the support for Firebase SDK into your Android application. So here the only thing that we need to do here is just copy this class path line, go to your build.gradle, but this time it has to be the project level build.gradle file, and paste it after this. And this is it. You don't have to make any other changes, because if you observe, you already have the Google repository mentioned at both the places as per the documentation, right? Next thing that we need to do is we have to copy this plugin line, Google Services plugin, and copy it inside your build.gradle inside your app folder. So you can see apply plugin com Android application. Next to this you can paste this line, and this is it. You can see here that few of the libraries have been declared. So this library needs to be declared only if you are planning to write Firebase code in your native Android application using Java. If you are planning to integrate in your Flutter application, then declaration of these two libraries are just not required. So we will skip these for now. Now we have done the necessary steps to integrate our Android application with the Firebase platform of the Firebase project. Now we'll get back to the Flutter project. We will open the main.dart file. Now let me tell you that before we can write any code or we can use any of the Firebase or the FireFlutter classes, we need to go to pubspec.yaml file and provide two dependencies over here. I do not know the current version numbers, so I'll quickly go to pubdev and find out the version number of Firebase _core package. We also have to define or declare the Firebase _auth package over here. So now you can see that we have provided the required dependency on Firebase core and the Firebase authentication libraries. Now next that we need to do is we'll go to main.dart file. Even before that, we will just click on get dependencies to ensure that we have all the required packages fetched from the repository. So now this is a very basic Flutter application. The next step would be to go to the FireFlutter official documentation and explore the code for signing up a new user, signing in the user, and for getting authentication state change updates, right? So just for your information guys, FireFlutter is the package that we will be using in Flutter for interacting with the Firebase platform. So this is the official documentation page of FireFlutter. So if you can see here, they are talking about adding the Firebase core support. So Firebase core is nothing but the base package which is required by all the Firebase functionalities and other other features like Firebase Auth, Firebase Firestore, Firebase database, right? So this is the first step. Then they also talk about initialize Flutter Fire. So basically what they want us to do is we will copy this line, await firebase.initialize app, and paste it somewhere into our application. We'll go to the state class and there's a method called initState, right? So inside this initState method, we'll create a new method called init. Inside this method, we will write await firebase firebase.initialize app. Now since we are using await keyword, the method init has to be asynchronous. In the real world app, you would like to have a delay over here, an appropriate way of handling the delay, because this firebase.initialize app might take few moments. So if you try to utilize the Firebase, any of the Firebase functionalities before the Firebase package has been initialized, it will not work. There has to be an appropriate way of introducing a delay over here and showing any appropriate errors that might crop up. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a delay. I'm going to put a hard-coded delay here of 2 seconds, and let's see if the things work. Now I've added a delay of 3 seconds, which is not a problem at all. We can even make it 2, but 3 is also fine. Inside this delay method, we are going to create a new method called register for auth state changes. In this method, we kind of intend to understand what is the authentication state of the user right now. We will also create 2 more methods called void signup and void sign in. Now both the methods will take 2 parameters. Right. Now inside register for auth state changes, instead of writing the code ourselves, we just use the official documentation. So this is the Firebase authentication documentation, which you can see here that they have further added a Firebase auth package dependency in the pubspec.yml, right? We will be skipping web for now, right? Now this is a place where you can have a look at the Firebase Flutter Fire documentation for authentication. Now we're going to copy this piece of code and paste it here. So what we're doing here is on the Firebase instance, we are just looking for auth state changes for a particular user, and it will just print if the user is currently signed out or user is currently signed in. So guys, in this project, I will be giving you the bare minimum code needed for achieving a functionality. I won't be dealing, or I won't be, writing a lot of code around the user interface for now. So let's proceed with this. Now you can see I already have written the code for registering for auth state changes. So now we are inside the increment counter method. What this method do is, like, every time I click on this button, you can see the counter getting incremented by 1, right? We will try here to register a new user every time the button is clicked, right? And then if everything goes on well, then we expect the user to be created on the Firebase console. Okay, one thing we have forgotten here, that we have to go to Firebase console once again. And then what we'll do next here is that we will enable authentication for your user. So now you can see there are a lot of ways you can provide or integrate authentication into your mobile application. We will be using email and password based authentication. we will enable this way of authenticating the user and save the changes. Right, now we'll go back to our application. So here we will call the sign up method with an email and the password. We'll let the password be password at !23 for the time being. For the email, what we'll do is we will concatenate the email string with the counter. Right, so once we do this, every time we click on the counter, we expect to see a new user with a new user ID saying user 1, user 2, user 3 getting created. And we'll call it something like @gmail.com for our testing purpose. Right now we haven't written any code inside the sign up, so it's not supposed to work. So let's fill up this method as well. So now this is the official documentation, and we'll try to get hold of the code from here itself. So now you can see this is the registration code. We are not going to change much here for the simplicity. This is calling await for creating user with email and password. So we have to define the sign up method as an async method. And if you see here, the email is currently hard-coded. We will replace this email with our email parameter and password with our password parameter. Right, so looks like we are good to go. So let's try and run this application on our mobile. So now the app is up and running. Before clicking on the plus button, we'll go to the Firebase console once again, and inside the authentication section you can see that there are currently no users. Now let me just click on plus here and let's see if something happens. Wow, so you can see that you already have user1@gmail.com created over here. We'll click on it once again and once more, and what we can see here is that it has now 3 users, right? So the sign up method is working as expected. Now let's quickly go back to the code and fill in the sign in method. So you can see here that it is saying user is currently signed in. What it means is that, you know, every time you sign up a new user, your Firebase or the FireFlutter package or the FireFlutter library auto sign in that user, right? So that's why you are seeing a user is currently signed in. So let's get the code for the signing method. And this is a very simple code for signing in as a new user. Again, you have to define the method as async, remove the hard-coded email ID and the passwords. So now let's try and add one more button over here. Guys, I'm still learning Flutter. I'm really not good in creating the user interface. So looks like it should work now. Wow, so it says sign in as user1, right? And we have already called the signing method. We already have called the signing method for user1. So if we change it to user2, awesome, it says user is signed in. Just to ensure that user is getting signed in with the correct ID, we'll try to print the user ID inside the signing method, or inside the state change method, I should say. What we can do is we can just use the user that we are getting here as a parameter, logged in users parameter. Let me try and rerun it. So we'll copy and paste this button multiple times, and we'll call it as sign in as user1, sign in as user1, and then sign in as user2, and then sign in as user3. Alright, So so now I just have added 3 buttons for 3 different users, and what I expect is that every time I click on signing in using a particular user, it should work. I don't know what's wrong here. Let me see if user is not equal to null. With this help, I'll just rerun the application. Alright, so if I sign in as the user 1, I can see user1@gmail.com is the user ID. Sign in as user 2, awesome, and sign in as user 3. Let's do one thing. Let's add a new user, user 3, user 4. Okay, so that's a good thing. You can see that the account already exists for that email, because it is again starting, the counter is again initialized to 0 to 1 actually, and it is trying to create a user saying user 1. Then again it will say user 2 already exists and user 3 already exists. And now when I click on this plus button, I expect that a new user with user ID 4 will be created. Wow, so it says user is signed in and the user ID that's being used is user 4. So we can quickly go back to the console and just check it there. Right, so now we have 4 users created on the console. So it looks like our authentication with the Flutter application on the mobile is working as expected. So let's do the same thing on the web as well. So what we are going to do is we'll just run the same application on the web and see if it works. The basic benefit of using or coding in Flutter is that the same code base can work flawlessly and exactly the same way on both the mobile and the and the browser platforms, right? So that's why I'm a little excited learning Flutter. Okay, so here it is not working, and the UI is also not coming that great, but we will for now we will just survive with this UI. We'll see why the code is not working on the browser. Okay, so I understand. It says Firebase has not been correctly initialized. Have you added the Firebase import scripts to your index.html file? So what we have to do here is we have to go to the web folder and open the index.html file, right? And then what we need to do here is we'll go back to the official documentation, click on web installation, use this file, use this script and paste it over there. Where does it go? It goes to, okay, so it has to go after right before where the body tag ends, right? Now once this is done, all we need to do is initialize the Firebase application. So if you see here guys, in this mobile thing, for the mobile application we have called this method called firebase.initialize, but this is not the code base that runs on the web. So the web code is going to run the index.html, so it has to be kind of initialized in the index.html file, and this is the code that's going to help you out there. We'll copy this script and paste it here. We have to get hold of this information from our console of, so now we have to get hold of this information from Firebase console. Let's go back to our Firebase console and go to project overview, and then we might have to add a new application selecting the web as the platform. We will call this as Firebase in Flutter web, and we will register the application. Now we will be using the script tag. So or what you can do is you can just copy the Firebase configuration information from here. So I believe now we have the record information inside our index.html file. Let's rerun the application on Chrome and let's see if it works right now. It looks like the application has initialized successfully on the web, but I still see there's some issue over there. If you see here, it is complaining about some library related to Firebase authentication. So I believe we have to provide that library thing over here as well. We'll go to Flutter. Okay, so here's the line that we need to add further to make the things up and running. We have to add the support for Firebase auth.js inside our index.html file. And once we do this, I expect the things to be up and running. Alright, so every time you include a new library or something, I believe that you have to kill the application and run it again. So now let me just click on sign in. Wow, so it says, so now guys, you can see that I was able to sign in as new user. Let me try and create a new user. 2, 3. We already have 4 users on the console, so the next time it should work. Now it should work. It should create a new user with ID user5@gmail.com. Awesome. So let's get back to the console and check it if it has created. So you can see user 5 has been created. Let's create one more. So guys, I believe everything works as expected, and we were able to run the same piece of code on your mobile application and as well on your web application. So guys, I'm in the process of learning Flutter. Whatever things I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna post videos on those small bits as and when I get time. My main aim is to make videos around writing mobile application, web application around Internet of Things. So I'll be posting new videos, so do subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.